Buenos días, clase. Hoy es el 1 de junio. Hoy es lunes. Um, Last time I recorded for you was a week ago, and a lot has changed since then. And I just want to acknowledge the fact that I'm thinking of all of you and sending you a lot of love, a lot of care. I know it's an unusual final week to be wrapping up a beautiful children's book with universal themes around truth, around love. Some of you had anti-racism in your book as a theme. And of course, writing this in Spanish is also a beautiful act in that you're building your multilingual capacity and your ability to communicate with others in their language. I want you to know that I'm thinking of all of you, and since the murder of George Floyd in our neighboring city, Minneapolis, I really have wished that we could be together to process this together. And I really hope you're finding comfort and safety where you are with your families. I'm especially reaching out to our students of color who have been dealing with this in their lives since the day they were born. And I want you to know that I care, and I am renewed my continued support to fight racism in all of its ugly forms. We all play a role, and I encourage you all to find your way in making this a better place for all. And if we can offer extra kindness and love for one another, that's a really beautiful, good start. For our weekly discussion, I'm going to focus on these events, and you can answer either the first question or the second or both. We're not in school together, but if we were, or once we are again, what do you think teachers and leaders in the schools should do to help eliminate racism in our schools, in our streets, in our institutions, in our police forces, etc.? What advice would you give us to help eliminate racism? And of course, I guess this question applies even with distance learning. Like what would you say to us to help in any anti-racist actions? The second question, what have been your experiences in the last few days, and how are you feeling about these experiences? And I know it might be hard to continue with our children's book work, but we are moving ahead, and I'm happy to support those of you who need more individualized support, or if you just can't do it today, try to get back to it tomorrow. And if it's just too much of a struggle, please just let me know. I've created an additional assignment here. It's not really additional work. It might be a little bit, but it's your biografia. If you remember from quarter one, your Flipgrid video of you talking to your kindergartner, presenting information about yourself. And then you wrote it in the third person for the final page of your children's book. If you search for biografia in your Google Drive, it'll pop up from quarter two, and you will basically copy and paste that and put it in here, right in here, okay? I just want to give some final edits so that it is accurate, okay? Regarding your illustrations, I just want you to make sure that you are not taking images on the internet that are copyrighted. You will want to change your Google settings to allow for images that are for reuse. If it's copyrighted, you're not allowed to do that. Some of you are asking questions about the illustrations. A friend can illustrate, anyone else can illustrate that has permission, that you have their permission to use their images. It doesn't need to be you. It could be on paper. You take a picture, it gets uploaded. You're asking a lot of good questions about that. Finally, we really hope that all of you can turn in your book by June 5th, by this Friday. If you need the weekend and then up until June 9th, that's fine too, because that is technically the last day of school. I'm really trying to get e-copies of your book to the kindergartners. But again, that can be done after school ends because we have the capacity to do a lot electronically. It's sad that we weren't able to meet our students. I think this would have been a really wonderful final. We were going to obviously interview the students. We had that whole field trip ready and planned. We were going to have the librarians talk to us about creating children's books. The St. Paul Public Library librarians. And then we are going to invite our students and their families to a final cafe, author's cafe this week to read to them. So a lot has changed since then, but I'm really proud of you for those who are just persevering and doing it. And the rest who need more support, please reach out. I'm here for you. Take good care of yourselves. I will be doing some office hours this week as well. If you just want individualized office hours, that's fine too. Adios.